All right, folks, people, I'm going to read through Proverbs 26 on break at work here. No microphone, just straight from my phone. Oh, Proverbs 26 says, "As snow in summer, and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool." So snow in summer would be pretty unusual. Snow's supposed to be in winter. It's supposed to be hot in summer. Rain and harvest. So I guess rain and harvest isn't a good thing. So it's kind of like oil and water. They don't mix well. They don't go together. And honor and a fool don't go together. Verse 2 says, "As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come." As the bird wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. What does that mean? It makes me think maybe the curse causeless shall not come, meaning that if there seems like there's a curse, or if it seems like there is some kind of, something bad happening, then it happened for a reason, because it's a consequence of an action that was made, or choice that was made, basically. That's what I'm getting from it. I don't know if that's right, but basically that our choices have consequences, and if it's a bad consequence, it didn't just happen by accident. Verse 3 says, "A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back." Wow. It's not the first time we've heard this. We've heard of correcting children with the rod's a good thing, and, heard about, rebuking or reproving people, correcting them, correcting the fool through punishment. So it seems sometimes it takes, some forms of punishment. It could be a physical or, imprisonment or whatever. Might take more extremes. It's not really a popular idea today, though. And so this is very poetic, and I was thinking more of the words. I was talking about synecdoche, and I know metaphor is one of them, but I still don't know what the other, off the top of my head. Syllable or metaphor. But yeah, these comparing things together, we're seeing that a lot in the last chapter, and it's continuing on in this one. And we didn't have that introduction in this one that we did in verse 25 that says, "These are the Proverbs of Solomon, which the man Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out." So this is just continuing from chapter 25. "Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him." We hear this verse a lot. So it's basically, I think, don't really argue with a fool. Don't, throw your pearls before swine, because you could just end up foolish yourself. Just looking foolish. And fools don't really maybe care about the truth. And you want to debate them and argue with them. And their intention's never to improve themselves. Their intention's never to consider different viewpoints or anything else. It's just to remain a fool. 6, "He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet, and drinketh damage." So don't send a message by a fool. Don't trust a fool to do anything for you, really, I guess, because you'd just be shooting yourself in the foot. You know, that's just like cutting off the foot. It's like shooting yourself in the foot. The legs of the lame are not equal. So is a parable in the mouth of fools. This is all about fools. So, I don't know if fools don't speak very intelligently, I guess. Even if they sounded intelligent, even if they can speak eloquently, still their ideas are foolish. So, let's see. Verse 8 says, As he that biteth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. I don't get that one, because, you know, putting a stone in a sling seems like what you're supposed to do. Binding, I don't know if that means, you know, getting it tied up in a knot, or so the sling won't be used correctly. It's kind of like honor given to a fool is honor that's not used correctly, or it doesn't go anywhere. It's not how honor is supposed to be given. I don't know. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. Ouch. So this again is kind of repeating himself, talking about the parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all these both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth the transgressor. Amen. So that's a pretty powerful statement about God too, and about how he created everything. The great God that formed all things rewarded the fool and rewardeth transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. We see that in the epistles, I believe. Dog returning to his vomit. Not sure if it's one of the ones that Paul wrote or somebody else. I don't remember off the top of my head. And it just makes me think of crime and addiction. And I know addiction, you know, physically, emotionally, and everything, it affects you, and I understand that. But yeah, it's like somebody who has gotten sober and they relapse. You know, it's like somebody who went to prison for burglary or something, and they get out and then they burglarize again. It's like, you know, it's like somebody who cheats, a husband or a wife that cheats, and they get a divorce or something, they get remarried, they cheat again, they don't learn, they don't change, they don't go to God for help. Seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. So we're not supposed to be prideful, wise in our own eyes. It says that's even lower than a fool. The slothful man said, There is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. So I'm not really sure what that means. The slothful man saith, There is a lion in the way. Like a slothful man doesn't do anything. They're lazy, right? So it's like, do they just let the lion kill him or something? They don't do anything about it or turn away. They just walk right into the lion's mouth, or what? As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. Well, you know what? I'm a tosser and turner when I sleep. It's hard for me to... So I hope that's not talking about me. But no, it's unrestful, I guess. I don't know how... Or just, just that the slothful sleeps a lot or is just lazy. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom, and grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. It grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. I don't really get that either. Is that kind of a... Is that supposed to be kind of a joke? The sluggard thinks that he's smarter than 7 men? He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belongeth not to him. Is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belongeth not to him. Okay, don't get involved in other people's problems, I guess. Don't try to fix and save everybody. If people are arguing or something and it doesn't involve you, I suppose. What does it mean that it's one that taketh a dog by the ears? I'm thinking that dogs don't like that. To be grabbed by the ears? I don't know. As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death. As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is a man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, Am not I in sport? I'm not exactly sure about that. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. So not having a talebearer is a good thing. As coals are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. Yeah, so you don't want contentious people around you because they're just going to stir up more strife. As coals are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. Oh, I'm sorry, I just read that. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a pot shed covered with silver dross. What? Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a pot shed covered with silver dross. Well, silver dross is like the extra, right? Like when silver's refined or whatever, the dross is like the crap that's left over. So, is that like waste, like trash? It's like a shed covered in trash. They're not a good combination, basically. A pot sherd? I guess it's not a shed. I don't know what a pot sherd is. 24, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin. So you don't want to be around or trust anybody that hates, too. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this here, but there's so much just in these last 2 chapters. There are really a lot of interesting things there. And, there's so many other verses throughout Proverbs that seem pretty straightforward when you read them. And then there's, a lot of this poetic stuff like this. I could look deeper into almost every verse. So it's pretty compact there. All right, that's Proverbs 26. Thanks, guys. God bless.